A short time ago, I ordered the United States Armed Forces to launch precision strikes on targets associated with the chemical weapons capabilities of Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad. We are prepared to sustain this response until the Syrian regime stops its use of prohibited chemical agents.
Right now, the United States, France, and the UK are striking Syria. President Trump ordered the U.S. military to carry out precision strikes about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, the president said this is a retaliation decision. He said the April 7th chemical weapons attack that killed more than 40 civilians, including children in Syria, was the tipping point.
And the president also called out Iran and Russia for their involvement. Russia has promised to retaliate if the U.S. strikes Syria. We watched the president's remarks with Nightside Sarah Rosario. Sarah, break down what the president's thought process was here.
Yeah, Catalina and Katie, this is not coming as a surprise to anyone. President Trump, he minced no words when it comes to that chemical weapons attack that he says the Syrian president carried out. He promised earlier this week to take action, and he did. But we still have a lot of questions about that attack. So here's what I can tell you for sure. The World Health Organization says at least 500 people were treated for signs and symptoms. You can see them getting treatment there, water being sprayed on them with hoses there. Their symptoms were consistent with exposure to toxic chemicals. Those people being treated include women and children. Right now, it's believed that the toxic chemicals are used or similar to sarin gas. That's a nerve agent, essentially, that it paralyzes the heart, other muscles. It can cause body spasms. It's so damaging, it can kill you in a matter of minutes. Now, in his speech tonight, President Trump said the U.S. is prepared to keep pressure on Assad until he stops killing his own people.
These are not the actions of a man. They are crimes of a monster instead. Following the horrors.
Now, this time last year, President Trump responded to a confirmed chemical weapons attack in Syria. And at that time, the Trump administration, they launched 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles, hitting Syrian aircraft hangars, ammunition, bunkers, air defense systems as well, and along with radar. In last year's chemical attack, at least 89 people were killed, including 33 children and 18 women. Another 541 people were also injured. And in both of those attacks, Catalina, the Assad regime said the chemical weapons, he claims that they never happened.
Sarah, you just mentioned this was not a surprise. And we know the president has spent days sending out threats to Syria and to Russia. On the 11th, he tweeted, Russia vows to shoot down any and all missiles fired at Syria. Get ready, Russia, because they will be coming nice and new and smart. And then just yesterday, the president tweeted, never said when an attack on Syria would take place. Could be very soon or not soon at all. In any event, the United States, under my administration, has done a great job of ridding the region of ISIS. Where is our thank you, America?
I just looked into what you are saying about this on Facebook. Ronnie, you said Russia now has a decision to make. They're a key ally of Syria and have warned against a U.S. strike.
Well, and Alex, the president not only addressed Russia, he said that Russia is to blame for making tonight's attack necessary.
In 2013, President Putin and his government promised the world that they would guarantee the elimination of Syria's chemical weapons. Assad's recent attack and today's response are the direct result of Russia's failure to keep that promise.
And Alex, on social media, a lot of people expressing feelings about maybe the president should have obtained congressional approval before going forward with this. Some people upset about that.
Yeah, a lot of people have forgotten that as commander-in-chief, the president does have the ability to launch an attack without it. Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution does give the power to Congress to declare war. So I put together an explanation of why he has that ability without it.
There are at least three answers. The first is the 2001 authorization to use military force. This was passed following the 9/11 attacks and is a very broad permission slip for the president to combat global terrorism. It is 60 words long, and it's been stretched to justify attacks against groups of people connected to Saddam Hussein, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda. The second answer is something called unitary executive theory. It relies on the Constitution too, Article 2 to be exact. Supporters argue the president can act without congressional authorization in matters concerning national security. The president could use the most recent chemical attack, which is a war crime, as his justification, what's known as casus belli. The third answer is he can't strike without congressional approval. Assad is not linked to any of the groups covered by the 2001 force authorization, and if he were to use the chemical attack as his justification for a strike, he would need approval through the UN, a move that Russia would surely veto. So where does that leave us? The answer is best summarized by Republican Senator Bob Corker from Tennessee, who said that a surgical or small-scale strike would not require congressional approval, but going against the Assad regime on a sustained basis would.
And Katie, I pulled up this tweet from August of 2013. A lot of people on social media right now are talking about it. Donald Trump says President Obama must get congressional approval before attacking Syria. Big mistake if he does not.
Yeah, fast forward to 2018, and this is an about face for sure for the president. And on Facebook Live, a couple of you did say you would have preferred the president to have congressional approval for this, but there was overwhelming support for the decision to take action because of the chemical weapons attack. Jim, you're glad the president did not wait. You say it's a good thing that the president can go around a Congress who would take months to decide on a clear path to follow. Plus, the enemy would know the timeline if it was debated to death. Linda, you say, I hate the idea, but I can't imagine how terrible it must be to live with the threat of my own government. I pray for all of us. And Susie, you say you're 100% behind this. You say, good, it needed to be done. We are a world power that can't sit back and watch this. You also brought up 2013 when President Barack Obama said that his red line with Syria would be its use of chemical weapons on its own people. After that, Bashar al-Assad's forces killed nearly 1,500 people in a chemical weapons attack. But President Obama did not respond with the military force that he had promised. He took some flack for that. He ended up seeking congressional approval, which he did not get, and he instead brokered an agreement with Russia in which the Assad regime promised to get rid of its chemical weapons, which it did not. And you've been weighing in all night telling us if you agree or disagree with the airstrikes. 300 of you have voted so far, and it looks like we have a very small percentage, 13% disagreeing, 87% agreeing with this decision. We'll keep you posted on that poll.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Boy, hearing that. Terror in Arkansas. Drivers watch hopelessly as a tornado tears through a town. It touched down in a town called Mountainburg, and people were on the roads, as you can see here. They took out their phones, they captured this, and this man says he barely got himself out of the danger. A drone flew over the damage. Power lines are down, buildings are ripped apart, and emergency crews spent the evening checking to see if anyone was hurt.
Yeah.
Bobby, this is part of severe weather that we're seeing that it looks like it's coming this way.
Well,
Not
that
but
system is coming this way. Tomorrow, that system moves to the east. It weakens. It will not be as severe. And Sunday, it gets here. It'll be even weaker than what it will be tomorrow.
right.
So it's something that we're going to track for you. Let me show you what we're talking about right here. The red boxes are tornado watches. This is going back 12 hours. And you can see the line, the squall lines that have developed, and that's where the tornadoes formed. Snow, there's lots of cold air on the backside. There's a lot of wind up above all this. That's the reason why we're getting the big storms. I took the radar off here, and I want to show you, look at all the tornado reports popping up across parts of Louisiana, parts of Arkansas as well, too, including Mountainburg. I just tweeted out another video of that Mountainburg tornado, and I'll put it on my Facebook page, Bobby Deskin's Weather, in less than a minute here once I get done. Where the threat is right now, what we're expecting for today. This is tomorrow, crosses the Mississippi. Notice there's no red, which would be number 4, a moderate threat for severe weather. It comes down to an enhanced threat. And then by Sunday for us, it weakens as well, but we still have a slight risk for some severe weather. So what we're going to expect is a squall line to come through late in the afternoon, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, could be a little bit later than that, and then things will clear out by late that night. I'll have a forecast for you coming up. We'll go over it hour by hour with our forecast model right here, help you plan your weekend.
Allegiant Airlines is adding Sarasota Bradenton International Airport to its lineup. The low-cost carrier is linking Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati to the Suncoast. And Alex, the airline is known for, of course, cheap flights. It's gotten a bad rap for being dangerous. And this weekend, 60 Minutes is doing a piece on this airline.
Yeah, Catalina, the airline's issues are already very well documented. Just searching the words Allegiant emergency in Google brought up hundreds of stories. At one point, Allegiant's problems were so bad they triggered an FAA safety investigation. The airline is St. Pete Clearwater Airport's main carrier, so I looked into how many Allegiant flights had problems going to and from that airport. Now, I found a lot. But there was a string of problems in 2016. In February of that year, a pilot aborted takeoff for a flight heading to Kansas City. The crew ran into a mechanical issue at that time. The next month, the plane heading to St. Pete Clearwater aborted its takeoff from Fort Wayne, Indiana, because of smoke in the cabin. Now, in June of that year, there were multiple emergency landings. A flight heading to New York had to fly back to St. Pete Clearwater when the crew experienced another mechanical issue. And in 2015, a flight on its way to Pittsburgh had to come back to the airport because of a pressurization problem. Now, during that time, we also reported on pilots picketing for better pay. I also came across a Tampa Bay Times study that found Allegiant's planes were 4 times as likely to have problems than other major airlines. The airlines has since invested in newer planes, and the FAA's safety investigation ended with no corrective action. But 60 Minutes found that even an NTSB official does not recommend that airline.
You're a former member of the NTSB. Would you fly on an Allegiant plane?
I have encouraged my family, my friends, and myself not to fly on Allegiant.
What sets Allegiant Air apart from its competition can be found in public documents. An alarming number of aborted takeoffs, loss of cabin pressure, smoke and fumes in the cabin, unscheduled landings, and engine failures.
He came on and he said, the mechanics have been working on this right engine. We apologize for that. We'll get you up in the air as soon as possible. As we started taxiing, everything was going okay. And then it's like, as soon as the wheels came up, the engine blew. Oh.
Scary. As a 60 Minutes story looms over the company, Allegiant's stock price has already taken a beating. You can watch the complete story this Sunday at 7 on 10 News.
A lot of people planning their weekend right now, looking at the weather, hoping that things are going to be good for them. What's going to happen?
This weekend looks good. Well, I think most of it.
Good.
The storms are late in the afternoon on Sunday. So really Saturday looks pretty good, and most of Sunday looks pretty good as well, too. So we're not looking too bad. Take a look right now live at the radar. This is the one where the big storms are. Our planner for tomorrow is not going to be all that bad. As a matter of fact, we're going to be looking at temperatures that basically go into the mid. And yes, there will be some upper 80s out there. It is going to be a warm day, so get prepared for that. Temperatures are eventually going to be pushing, it looks like now, I think, basically into close to 90 for inland locations. Live outside right now, it's actually pretty calm. Really, it's a beautiful night out there, 75 degrees. The dew point is up from what it was earlier. It's up to 59 degrees. That means the humidity is going to start to creep up for you. And that will come up even more so as we get into tomorrow. So it's definitely going to be warmer, and it's certainly going to feel more humid. It will be more humid. Air temps now generally in the upper 60s to low 70s, and most of us in the low 70s for this Friday night. And you can see the big storms that are back out to our west. Look at the snow that's on the backside of this. Some really cool air that'll plunge southward, and it's the mix of that cold air, warm, moist air, winds up above it. That's what's making those big storms that we've been showing you. And you can see that this threat now does extend off towards the east, getting towards Memphis later tonight. So that's one place you'll have to watch. I did want to point out the winds as well. Southeast wind tomorrow goes south-southeast and then a little southwest in the afternoon. That's a sea breeze, but a southerly wind's a warm wind for us, and that brings in that extra moisture as well, too. So let's plan your Saturday. This is 8:30 in the morning. Southeast winds, lots of sunshine. Partly cloudy in the afternoon. There's going to be more sunshine than anything else. That's 5 o'clock and 86 degrees already. The average high this time of year is about 80 to 81. So yeah, we're going to be above average. This is Sunday morning. Starting to see some high clouds come in as we wake up, but still pretty nice. Isolated shower through lunchtime. That's about 12:15 midday on Sunday. Just a few showers. It gets breezy. Boating conditions, I think you can go boating on Sunday, but keep in mind it's going to get bumpy. Stay inshore is the best way to do it. But then there you go. That's 5 o'clock. That's a decent squall line, and the timing may change on this. It may speed up a little bit, so you want to stay tuned. Follow me on Facebook, Bobby Deskin's Weather, and the whole team. We're going to be here in the Weather Center. That's when I expect a chance for some strong thunderstorms. 4, 5, 6, 7. This is almost 8 o'clock. And then it slowly starts to move out of the area. In fact, by Monday morning, I mean, we're already seeing lots of sunshine, winds out of the north and the west, and the cooler air comes in. That's that severe weather threat for tonight. That is tomorrow, and notice there's no red there. Watch the orange disappear, which basically means the chance for severe weather is coming down. Still think we could get some strong winds, some small hail, and of course frequent lightning, and obviously we're going to get some pretty good downpours as well. 88 degrees on Saturday. That's a warm one. 83 on Sunday. So Sunday is still warm, but with that southwesterly wind, it's going to keep us just slightly cooler because of the wind coming off the water. Tomorrow looks pretty good. Southeast winds about 15 knots in the morning, but I'm telling you, the bay this afternoon and this evening was just glass. I think tomorrow will be a little bit bumpier than that. Not much. I think even tomorrow afternoon looks good. Obviously, it looks a little bit bumpier as we get into your Sunday, midday, and into the afternoon. Allergy forecast medium high, even with the rain coming through. Rain will come in and come out of here by Sunday night. And then you look at that cooler air behind it, 72. And some models are saying we stay in the 60s. Most of next week is dry, but starting to warm back up into the low 80s.
Bobby, thank you. Last year, a 16-year-old boy from South Carolina died from what doctors called a caffeine-induced cardiac event. Now state lawmakers are thinking about banning the sale of energy drinks to anyone under 18 years old. Energy drinks can contain up to 300 milligrams of caffeine. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration recommends adults consume no more than 400 milligrams a day. That's about 5 cups of coffee. By one estimate, 68% of young people consume energy drinks. And since 2012, about 2,200 Americans under 19 have gotten sick after drinking an energy drink. The American Academy of Pediatrics and the American Medical Association urge young people to drink limited high caffeine beverages or just none at all. But the South Carolina Beverage Association opposes the bill and says a sales ban on any one product could be arbitrary and discriminatory.
Now, from your Suncoast Hyundai dealers, this is 10 Sports.
You know, I'm still kicking myself that I didn't tell you guys this story. I'm sure you already heard about it, but this was last week. Kevin Kiermaier was apparently going to cover his entire body in Vaseline about 2 weeks ago when the Rays were playing the Yankees in New York City. That was to battle the cold, of course. Well, KK rebuffed the story, ended up going national. There were memes everywhere. He said that it was totally blown out of proportion. Well, KK had a gift waiting for him when the Rays returned to their clubhouse today. Check it out. He's got some Vaseline swag, huh? They hooked him up, along with a handwritten letter from an exec. Well, not sure if KK has been rubbing some of that on his bats as of late, or maybe he needs to because he is in a dry spell at the plate. Kiermaier whiffing twice tonight against the Phils, went 0 for 3, came in batting 114. He's 4 for his last 38 with 17 strikeouts. And the offense is clearly suffering, which did leave Alex Colomé with much room to work, although he's been blowing saves left and right anyway. Doesn't matter what kind of lead he has. Here he couldn't hold on to the tie, led to a 2-1 Rays loss. Colomé needs to get booted, in my opinion, out of the closer role. Jose Alvarado has made a strong case to take the job. 8 Ks in 6 innings. Rays lose their 7th one-run game. I promise I'm not jinxing it. I promise I'm just giving you facts here on a Friday. Teams that do go up 1-0 in a series, 69% of the time they advance. That certainly is a good sign for the Tampa Bay Lightning ahead of tomorrow's Game 2. But they do need Steven Stamkos to help improve that total because 2-0, pretty much 88% chance you win the series. Stammer, though, 0 goals since March 3rd. He's been struggling. The captain hasn't gotten into the score sheet. This is one of the longest droughts of his career. Now, of course, look, Stamkos has been dealing with some injuries. He's missed some time, but still he's stuck in a staggering scoring slump. He's gone 5 straight games without registering a point, and his last goal came over a month ago against Philadelphia. The scoring depth on this roster is picking up the captain in the meantime.
As long as you win hockey games, everyone's happy. So, we got 4 well-balanced lines, and, whoever's going to get the opportunity to score, got to make sure to bear down.
We have the depth at really all 4 lines that guys can chip in and score. We've seen when we've gone on extended runs how important and vital that is. So we're a group that has that, and I think that makes it tough for other teams to match up.
Certainly made it tough for the Devils to match up in Game 1. Let's see if Stammer can get on the score sheet tomorrow. Puck drops, of course, at 3 o'clock. Game's going to be on Fox Sports Sun. Games 3 and 4 are in New Jersey, so important to take care of home ice. Why? Because the Pens did not do that tonight. Pittsburgh blasted Philly in Game 1, 7-0. Flyers returning the favor tonight. Travis Konecny with a beautiful wrister that puts the Flyers up 3-0 in the third. They would go on to win 5-1, so that series is now tied. Hopefully, Bolts were paying attention. You do not want anything similar tomorrow afternoon.
So, the
Jam
sole
into
winner.
the lottery song.
Yeah, somebody's happy right
Got
now.
a beat right there. Yeah, this guy is jamming. So the sole winner of last month's $533 million Mega Millions jackpot
Sole winner. Yeah.
officially collected his winnings today.
Nice.
I love this.
Happy Friday.
47-year-old. Yeah, no kidding. Richard Wall, there he is, picked up his big yellow check and entered into the Millionaires Club this afternoon. Million. The jackpot he won is the 4th highest in Mega Millions history, guys. He decided to take the cash option, which, get this, is a little less than $221 million. Alex, I could live with that.
Yeah, imagine how just confused he is right now. Just like, what is going on?
It's got to be a blur. It really does.
Get this, Wall says this is only the 2nd time he's played Mega Millions.
Stop.
Now people are mad.
He said today that as soon as he realized he won, he immediately canceled his weekend plans.
I didn't feel comfortable taking the ticket out of the house. I didn't feel comfortable leaving it in the house. Fire, somebody coming in, be crazy, take it. I don't know.
Wall says he plans on retiring and wants to use the money to not only help his family, but friends and others in need as well.
I guess you put it like in a Ziploc bag and you like tape it to your body or like, don't get it.
Yeah, what are you doing? Honestly, what are you
Pay
doing?
no attention to that man. Just send it to us. We'll split it 3 ways.
You never know. He might be watching.
I think we're the crazy people he was talking about. That's why he stayed in his house.
Right.
Smart move.
Yeah, we're just publicly asking for the money at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he was talking about his house burning down. I get it. I would be worried too.
Yeah. All right. Wishing him safety this weekend.
Yes.
And you.
Have a great weekend,
Have a great
everybody.
night. See you Monday.
So, the
Jam
sole
into
winner.
the lottery song.
Yeah, somebody's happy right
Got
now.
a beat right there. Yeah, this guy is jamming. So the sole winner of last month's $533 million Mega Millions jackpot
Sole winner. Yeah.
officially collected his winnings today.
Nice.
I love this.
Happy Friday.
47-year-old. Yeah, no kidding. Richard Wall, there he is, picked up his big yellow check and entered into the Millionaires Club this afternoon. Million. The jackpot he won is the 4th highest in Mega Millions history, guys. He decided to take the cash option, which, get this, is a little less than $221 million. Alex, I could live with that.
Yeah, I imagine how just confused he is right now. Just like, what is going on?
It's got to be a blur. It really does.
Get this, Wall says this is only the 2nd time he's played Mega Millions.
Stop.
Now people are mad.
He said today that as soon as he realized he won, he immediately canceled his weekend plans.
I didn't feel comfortable taking the ticket out of the house. I didn't feel comfortable leaving it in the house. Fire, somebody coming in, be crazy, take it. I don't know.
Wall says he plans on retiring and wants to use the money to not only help his family, but friends and others in need as well.
I guess you put it like in a Ziploc bag and you like tape it to your body, or like, don't get me.
Yeah, what are you doing? Honestly, what are you
Pay no
doing?
attention to that man. Just send it to us. We'll split it 3 ways.
You never know. He might be watching.
I think we're the crazy people he was talking about. That's why he stayed in his house.
Right.
Smart move.
Yeah, we're just publicly asking for the money at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he was talking about his house burning down. I get it. I would be worried too.
Yeah. All right. Wishing him safety this weekend.
Yes.
And you.
Have a great
Have
weekend,
a great
everybody.
night. See you Monday.